President-elect Donald Trump kicking off his thank you tour in Cincinnati last night, speaking to a crowd at a rally that resembled one of his campaign events. Mr. Trump talking unity.
I know that if we set aside our differences, and we do have differences, we're a very divided nation, but we're not going to be divided for long. I've always brought people together. Now is the time to embrace the one thing that truly unites us. You know what that is? America. America. It's America.
But moments earlier, the president-elect took a shot at Hillary Clinton, prompting the return of a familiar chant.
Although we did have a lot of fun fighting Hillary, didn't we? Right?
So, Gary, I keep having this image of a parallel universe where Hillary Clinton won, and there's definitely no excitement, and she's not happy.
Well, there certainly would not have been a Coliseum filled with people.
Do you think that his supporters at all are disappointed that he's not going to end up locking her up as the chance that, was said last night and on the campaign trail?
First of all, you don't know what's going to happen, because I think he's made it clear that while he's not going to be the one making that ultimate decision, if the Attorney General decides that there's information and evidence, he's going to go in a different direction. So it's not as though it's off the table. It's just that that's not going to be something he's pressing. He's been elected by this country to fix the economy, and that's going to be his priority out of the gate, day one.
Melissa,
But you think Hillary Clinton? No, Hillary Clinton could not get a victory tour, a thank you tour, because there was never anybody there for the rallies in the first place.
Gary, she won this election with a popular vote of more than 2.5 million people. So let's not pretend that she wasn't liked by more people than he was.
But Julie, the events. I'm talking specifically about the events. Yes, she got the people that voted for her on the East Coast and on the West Coast.
So what?
But those people weren't.
Let me just say this, and Greg Gutfeld actually made this point yesterday, so this is not an original one to me. I can only imagine the opprobrium cast at Hillary Clinton if she went on quote-unquote a victory tour. Give me a break. I mean, why don't we not talk about Donald Trump? Why don't we talk about Donald Trump's policies instead of talking about how great Donald Trump is? Okay. What a great time he had fighting Hillary Clinton, how awesome he is. I've never seen a more sore winner in my life.
No. See, I think that what he's doing is very calculated in the sense that he feels that there's a lot of excitement and momentum, and he has a golden opportunity in the first 100 days to do a lot of the things that he promised, but that is contingent upon him keeping this excitement and this enthusiasm at this level. And if he just goes underground and sits there and makes his picks, I don't think that you keep people sort of at this fever pitch. I mean, there was one guy that they interviewed outside who said, I told my wife I just had to see him one more time. I've been to all these rallies and I'm like, what is he, the Grateful Dead? I mean, they're like following him around like he's on tour, but I think it's very clever and it's filled with intent that he's going to keep this momentum high so that he can really achieve those things in that first golden moment.
He made the point. He said, Melissa, you're right. He said last night, we need you. I need you to speak to your elected officials, the congressmen, to make certain that what everybody wants gets passed. I mean, I look at it as again, it's a fresh direction. It's something that we haven't seen. I'll make you happy. We haven't seen this in 16 years. I'm not going to say we haven't seen this in 8 years.
We haven't seen what? You don't think Barack Obama had groupies following him around everywhere in 2008? Come on.
I think he did. He had this kind of excitement.
But we're seeing an attempt to reach out and keep the excitement alive.
I don't know if we're seeing an attempt to unify, though, because on the one hand, you're talking about unity, on the other hand, you're talking about didn't we have fun?
But you know what he is unifying? People like me. Because I was a very big critic of his, as you know. And he is really, maybe he's starting out with his own party, which is what I see with the Mitt Romney, with some of these choices. And I actually do see more unity happening. I mean, right now, every liberal that I am friends with is still in a hysterical bell jar dark moment on Twitter, still going crazy about the election, so maybe he's just biting it.
But is he keeping this to just...
I do have liberal friends, if you can believe that. It is possible.
She speaks to everyone. But, I mean, he didn't use the opportunity just to thank his supporters. He used it as an opportunity to go back, and who did he point out? He took jabs at Ohio Governor John Kasich, who wouldn't support him. In his state. Took jabs at the dishonest media. So I don't know, should he be doing that in this thank you tour where he is trying to unify, as he says?
His base wants to hear that. Okay, we all know that if we were in a similar situation, let's all be honest with ourselves. If John Kasich did what if we had our convention in that state and we were the nominee, and that happened, we'd all want to say the same thing. We just wouldn't do it, but he would. But
I don't know. I might do it, but I like Julie's point about, I think I might do it.
Yeah.
President Obama had this kind of excitement back in 2008, and I don't think he capitalized on it. I think that Donald Trump learned from that, and he realized that it's a short window that you have to go out and do your
the hysteria in 2008 from Republicans of Barack Obama, month after his election, went out and said, didn't we have fun beating up John McCain? I can only imagine how everybody would say how divisive
people did do that. They just didn't do it at rallies. They did it in the press. They did it in interviews. They did it in media. They did it in Washington, D.C. So his hands aren't clean. Let's not give Obama a pass on this. They gloated so much worse than Donald Trump is doing now. He just happens to be doing it at a rally.
Did we actually have Barack Obama stand up and say publicly, hey, didn't we have a great time kicking John McCain's butt? It never happened because that's not what presidents do. It's not. Did he? I mean, give me a quote. Did he ever do it? Of course not, because that's not what presidents do.
There's a clip you can find online, the conversation between my father and Obama, where he's like, John, I won. My father says, I were reminded of it every single day.
No, I get that, but
supporters were the beyond dirty. I could tell you stories that would get me kicked off air.
Meghan's supporters are one thing. This man is about to become president of the United States. He's talking about unity.
Obama's hands are so clean. He's perfect. Nobody ever did anything wrong. That's why his momentum continued. He lost so bad in his legacy.
I'd love to see that quote. I'd love to see that quote.
We have to move on. The president-elect also talking up his deal to save jobs at a carrier plant in Indiana. But some critics say a president getting involved with the workings of individual companies is treading on dangerous ground. Is Mr. Trump doing that, or simply keeping his campaign promise about saving American jobs? Plus, the bad blood between the campaigns still running hot at a forum held after every election. The Clinton team is lashing out in a very personal way. A whole lot of nasty up next.